Namen allerseits bei MTV Spin. Neben mir sitzt eine der festesten Größen in meinem Leben, als Band jetzt. Muse, welcome to the show.
Hello, nice to see you again.
You're one of the most constant things in my life.
I mean, say the same, yeah.
Seeing you every other year or so tells me that I'm still alive.
Yeah, we've kind of grown up with you, I think it feels like. You know, from children and now we're kind of almost adults.
How old were you the first time?
Probably 19 or 20.
Yeah. Right, I was still in my early 30s. So yeah, there's another very good reason why we meet, which is the fantastic new record. And we need to talk about that, of course. Also, ihr könnt euch wahrscheinlich schon denken, warum wir uns wieder treffen und das in regelmäßigen Abständen, weil es ist eine neue Platte draußen, Absolution, ganz, ganz großartig, darüber wird gesprochen und über vieles andere auch. Und dann wird ja heute noch, an dem Tag, an dem diese Sendung entsteht, eine Show im Gloria in Köln gespielt. Ja, und da gibt es dann auch Ausschnitte draus zu sehen. What would be the first video to start out? Should be, when we talk about the good old times 6 years ago, we should actually play one.
Oh, right. What you want us to pick up one video?
What's your favorite video from the first record?
I don't know. Actually, we made a video just for Germany. Actually, Uno we made. So maybe we could play that because that video didn't get played in the UK. But I think it got played here. So
okay,
maybe we should go for that one.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Things have changed.
Now, there were a lot of things happening when you put the record together. Not just as far as the places go where you did the record, but as well with the general situation in the world. Yeah, you know, I mean, was there the time when you started writing and recording songs? Was that exactly when the Iraq War started?
It's pretty similar timing, yeah. I mean, we started off in London, recording in London. Well, we did almost all the rehearsal. We kind of got this old sort of industrial building, which used to be for metal works or something, but we kind of converted it into a rehearsal room and a place to sleep. And that was kind of, yeah, right in the middle of the time of all the protests and everything as we were starting. But sort of halfway through we disappeared into Ireland and kind of, we made the most of the album in Ireland in a kind of more country type, sort of hidden place where it was like in the countryside, you know.
And when you wrote the songs and before you entered the studio, did the whole situation, I mean, politically affect the record in a way?
I think it affected the mood, yeah. I think it affected a few of the songs. A few of the songs probably wouldn't have been on the album. I think a few of the songs became more important during that time. Songs like Ruled by Secrecy and Apocalypse Please, and these kind of songs I think came around that time. But there's a whole lot of the album that was written a bit before that time as well, you know.
You worked together with the guy who you worked with already on the last record?
No, we only did 2 songs with a guy that we worked with before. Actually the person we worked with right in the beginning when we recorded songs like Must Museum and stuff like that. But we only did 2 songs, Butterflies and Hurricanes and Blackout. And those were kind of songs that had a large orchestra type arrangement really. But after we heard those songs, we thought they were kind of so sort of classical sounding. We thought we wanted to do the rest of the album in a more minimal, kind of more straightforward sound really. And we met this guy, Rich Costy, he contacted us actually. He'd been working with bands like Rage Against the Machine. He just done the Audioslave album, Mars Volta album. But also he'd also done stuff like Philip Glass, which is really kind of completely different. So in the end, we ended up doing a whole album with him really, and we actually redid a little bit of work on the first 2 songs as well. So the majority of the album was Rich Costy.
As far as the orchestral arrangements go, how does something like that work? I mean, you have a song which is very basic in the beginning.
I think the songs like in the beginning we were thinking of maybe putting strings and stuff like that on more songs, but some of the songs are just really simple and really straightforward, and it just sounds crap if you put strings on them. Do you know what I mean? Like if you get a song like Time Is Running Out and put strings on it, it just sounds terrible. but I think the 2 songs that we used, they had the kind of, because they were sort of written on the piano. I think they have that natural sound that works well, you know, with strings.
Do you have like any approach to classical music at all? I mean, do you listen to it, or?
For me, it's like I was never really influenced by when I was younger. Really, it's just something that I got a little bit influenced by after making the album Showbiz. We did a song called Sunburn on the first album, which was actually a guitar song, but it sounded crap when we recorded it. So I I kind of spent a bit of time working out on the piano, and at that time I hadn't played the piano for years, because when I was younger I played the piano, but it was always blues stuff, like Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder, this kind of more improvised stuff really. And I kind of gave up the piano when I started getting into rock music and guitar stuff. But when we recorded Sunburn on the piano, it sort of sounded a little bit it reminded me of something I couldn't quite work out really. It was after that time that I started listening to a few records of sort of some more kind of piano type music really, and I think it had a little bit of an influence on Origin and a little bit of an influence on this album, but I think it's only the songs that have got piano in really, I think you can hear that.
Okay, well I had piano lessons too, and I suffered the same thing. I didn't want to play classical stuff, and I've played along Depeche Mode, which sounded also very crappy then on a piano. So, aus dem Klavierunterricht in den nächsten Clip und dann wird weiter über die Platte gesprochen. Zurück hier bei MTV Spin mit Muse. Jetzt kommt gleich das neue Video, Time is Running Out. Vorher vielleicht noch, nachdem wir jetzt über musikalische und textliche Aspekte der Platte gesprochen haben, so kurz mal das generelle Befinden der Band abchecken. Das mache ich ja immer gerne, wenn ich sie treffe. Now, apart from the musical and lyrical situation on the record, on a personal level, are you happy? This is the question that I keep asking every time we meet.
Right, are we happy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
in the deepest sense of the word.
In the deepest sense, yeah, I think so. Yeah, pretty. I think we're more chilled out, really. I think it was good for us to have a long break, really, because I think when you go on tour for many years, we were on tour for a long time from Showbiz through the Origin, and when you've been on tour for a long time, I think you kind of lose a grip with your life that you used to have when you're at home, you know. So I think it's good for us to sort of go home for 12 months and just kind of go back to living a more normal life and just chilling out a little bit and sort of getting away from it all, you know. I think that really helped make the album, really.
Great atmosphere, great colors, great concept. Who was the director?
John Hillcott.
Ah, a guy you worked with before, right?
No, that was the first time, yeah.
No, you didn't, but...
maybe we were, or what? Someone else. Did Nick Cave video?
He did Nick Cave, he did Placebo.
Yeah.
A few others.
Something else. Kylie Minogue? No. I don't know.
I don't know that one. But no, we've never met before.
Yeah, the first time. Yeah, the last album we made mostly videos of David Slade, and the ideas for most of those videos were just his dreams. You know, he sort of have a weird nightmare and phone us up and say, "I just had a nightmare about you being abducted by aliens and falling down a hole in the earth or something." And we go, "Yeah, that sounds good. Just go with it." But this time we wanted to work with something different. So we kind of we chose John because you know, like video doctors, like they put their treatment together for like the idea of what they think they want to do and stuff. His treatment was nothing really. It's just one sentence that said, "Let's put some women in uniform and see what happens." You know? And that sounded like a good starting point.
And the friendship between the three of you, how did that develop during the last couple of years? I mean, did you even get closer, like being exposed to all the bad sides of the business, which brought you closer together?
I think the one thing you learn from being on tour and also just sort of making a few albums, whatever, is that the only people that do stay the same is just us three. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's been like, you know, management, record companies, whoever, people on tour, anything, they come and go, you know. But the only thing that really stays the same is us. So I think that's something you notice through time, you know. And it's I think it brings you closer together.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time touring, and it was kind of, I think it was nice to suddenly finish touring and suddenly, like we said, we had this room to rehearse and write songs, to suddenly just have this. To spend a lot of time together, just hanging around. We talked a lot just about, you know, ideas and music, and just spent a lot of time outside of being on a kind of crazy tour or something like that. So I think, you know,
I think you're getting a thing that's constant in our life as well, basically.
Yeah. Now, since I followed everything about the band from the very beginning, I always liked the fact that it was no overnight thing going on here, like no big hype being created. It was as well you yourself and the people surrounding you, working for you, that wanted to build it very slowly. Did that work, and did it pay off?
I don't know, I think there's always a kind of distance between what we were on the album and what we were as a live band. You know, I think as a live band we were always more comfortable, you know, as opposed to making albums And I think for that reason, sort of the kind of people who got into the band were more from what they saw on stage as opposed to the albums, I think. So I think for that reason, that's why it kind of sort of built up slowly. Something like that.
The very, very critical British press, for instance, they name you as one of the most important rock bands in probably the next 10 years. Because they believe in you. Yeah, obviously.
Damn
You're
right.
Damn right.
That's a good one, yeah. What, when did they say that?
I read it in the end.
Yeah, I think that the kind of the response on this album has been sort of really positive from the UK press, who normally kind of take the piss out of us for being kind of over the top and all this kind of pompous crap. Do you know what I mean? So I think that I don't know. I think yeah, we've got some more respect, I think, from this album, which is quite weird. Yeah, it's nice, you know. See if it lasts.
Weiter geht's bei MTV Spin mit Muse. Nochmal ein paar Sätze zur neuen Platte. Again, when listening to the new album, then it seems that there's thinking about good old traditional values like honor, righteousness, the stuff that your parents try to, you know. Was there some thinking about stuff like that?
I don't know, really. I think the main theme on the album is the idea of things coming to an end of some description and trying to deal with the idea of things ending. You know, whether it be your life or your job, or whether it be your relationship or the world or whatever it might be. The first song on the album is kind of a very sort of exaggerated idea of this by talking about like the end of the world coming due to a kind of a sort of religious fanaticism creating military action and all this kind of stuff, you know. And it's kind of the fear of people's religious fanaticism causing the ancient prophecies of their religion to come true. And that was kind of like an over-the-top kind of statement at the beginning. But all the rest of the songs are more down to earth, and they kind of deal with the idea of things coming to an end. I think songs like Falling Away With You and Endlessly are the only songs that really deal with like relationships coming to an end. And I think there's songs like Blackout and Thoughts of a Dying Atheist, which are kind of singing about the idea of trying to deal with your own death, you know. Like, I think Blackout's trying to be very positive and saying that, you know, the reason life is short is because if it was long, it would be boring, you know. So like, the idea of it being short is kind of, so you've got to make the best of it while it's there. And a song like Thoughts of a Dying Atheist is talking about kind of the fear of trying to maintain an atheist point of view whilst, you know, thinking about your own mortality or whatever. But but I think that's the general kind of thing I think is going on in the album. I think there's a few other songs that kind of veer off. Songs like Time Is Running Out and that are more generalistic, you know, kind of singing about just like you're feeling suffocated by something imposing on your life when time is running out to make a change of some description.
All right, now there's the show tonight in Cologne, but probably you will come back later this year or early next year.
We're actually doing a tour of Europe. I think we're playing.
You're doing it in fall, right? Somewhere in November.
November, I think.
Yeah, I think it's sort of October in Germany.
I don't know. It's October to December. We're doing like 2 months all across Europe. So
Yeah.
we are coming to Germany.
Yeah, we're playing a few gigs. I think we're playing in Cologne and then we're Munich, Berlin, and Hamburg as well.
So next
And Offenbach.
next checkup is coming pretty soon then.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll come back with with sort of playing like a lot of the new songs and all sorts of other stuff as well.
Very good. Then, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cheers.
And last thing we see is obviously the live show from tonight.
Cool.
Recht herzlichen Dank für die Aufmerksamkeit. Auf Wiedersehen.
song is called Butterflies and Hurricanes.